Salutations! I wanted to close the gap into a Bound for Glory pay-per-view that I did find for free, 2012s to be exact, but I may end up doing that later. Like I said, I need to kick the tires and light the fire, so to speak, on script and stuff for December, so today is going to be Destination X 2012. If it sucks, I'll end on that, since that comes before Bound for Glory chronologically in the time period. And this takes place a day after my birthday of all days, too, the 8th of July. We open with just some fancy operatic music chronicling, I'm not a superhero, I'm Austin Aries. I'm not a role model, I'm not politically correct. I'm the it factor, the leader of the selfish generation, and the longest reigning champion in TNA history, Bobby Roode. Praise be to Bobby, by God, Roode, yes. Main event, Bobby Roode, man. And with that, welcome to Destination X, July 8th, 2012. Mike Tenay and Jeremy Borash on commentary, Christy Hemme as the ring announcer and also the backstage for segments later. She kicks off a fatal four-way losers bracket, I believe, of X Division title contenders, as Destination X is so a lot of focus on the X Division and its stars, and of course the Ultimate X match later on, I believe, in the penultimate main event of the night. So I figured, okay, someone's pulling double duty tonight because they got to wrestle here at just a place and then get into the bracket. I couldn't recognize most of these guys. I remember somebody named Rubik's wrestling for TNA, but very short while, and that's all I remember. I don't remember a Mason Andrews, but it took me a little bit to try and recognize him without the goatee, but then I get a real good look in the face, and I'm like, Young boy Scorpio Sky. Hell, young boy Harold even. Did not recognize the other two. There's Lars Only and Dakota Darso coming out looking like a jacked up Dane Cook. But yeah, I tried to look all these guys up because I've never heard of them before. I'm like, did they do anything? Dakota Darso himself is a second generation wrestler. His father best known for Demolition Smash and Repo Man of WWF fame. But that's all I could glean from him. Like, usually Wikipedia comes up for, like, the first thing. No, I found most of this from, like, a wrestling wikia, which I think I have an excerpt of that later I can look through for this review that I scripted. But anyway, first fall to finish for this match. One last chance at crowning a new X Division champion. The winner has to immediately face a winning Kid Cash for that opportunity. So now I'm thinking somebody's doing triple duty tonight. Like, did Cash get a bye in the tournament? What's that about? Lars Only with a headband that, when he starts wrestling with it, it seemed too big and it fell over his eyes during the match once, so after that, I think he gets rid of it off camera somewhere. Crowd really loves Rubik's most, I think. Good opener, nothing I got too into, because I didn't really recognize any of them looking like Mason Andrews. I'm like, come on! And he does pick up the win, thankfully, and is now getting bombarded by Kid Cash. This match one-on-one I liked. We got a fresh heel, Kid Cash taking full advantage, just healing out and beating down Andrews. Going out of his way to make sure you cheer your ass off for Andrews when he gets that second wind and starts fighting back. And yeah, very effective. The crowd does this. One of those for, like, to rally him up. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's doing his job. He's getting hyped for it. Oh, I got excited for this one. Running high knee from Andrews almost gets a 3. Sunset flip pin. Kid Cash beautifully powers out of this. Andrews gets a roll up from a hooked leg and wins it. Tenay says Andrews first of 4 qualified for the Ultimate X match. So yeah, we're getting more X matches, and like I said, rookie-ass Scorpio Sky working triple duty tonight. Wow. Christy Hemme backstage with Samoa Joe. He's post-face tat, but he's rocking this sweet mini mohawk shave he's got going on for his head. They're talking about the Bound for Glory tournament. Crap. I'm going to have to cover that after all, aren't I? Because now I'm curious. I think this is a yearly thing where they decide whoever gets the most points until the aptly named pay-per-view comes round is the number one contender for the world title. I forget how the points work. I remember looking this up later myself. I'll talk more about that as we get to the match. But tonight, Joe's currently at second place and facing the man in 4th place currently, Kurt Angle. Joe says, last year when I got to the series, my strategy was to maim, kill, and destroy everyone involved. This year's different. You could say I've seen the light. I see the road paved to my heavyweight championship through this series. Tonight, Kurt, you're not a gold medalist. You are 10 points. Ends to a means. Second slot for Ultimate X is our next match. Douglas Williams versus Kenny King. This was a good match too. Like, enough to say, hey, go check this out if nothing else. Very old school British grappling and chain wrestling to try and match up with the quicker Kenny King. Like, Kenny answers a roll-up attempt with a twist and tries to get a pin of his own. Lots of quick reversals to match up with the perhaps savvier Douglas Williams. I did not expect Douglas to take off the top rope with a flying knee. That looked awesome too. Kenny fights off Williams and boots him with this fireman's carry into some sort of tilt-a-whirl slam. But yeah, definitely watch this match. So yeah, coming to this, I was like, okay, maybe this won't suck. Christy Hemme with my favorite era of Christopher Daniels, one half of Bad Influence. I don't think they call themselves yet, but he's got the Appletini in hand and, acting all like doing the shimmy and all that cocky heel shit. One half of the World Tag Team Champions of the world. Not redundant, he says so. He says as much himself. Among that, he also says, a lot can happen in 1 year. A year ago, all I was to AJ Styles was his support system. It was more important to be a friend. I've lost that mentality, and now I've dominated. Yeah, I say my favorite era of Daniels, but it is woefully marred significantly by the worst aspect in it. If you gotta ask, it means you don't know. I just got 2 words for you. Claire Lynch. Yeah. That angle. Free your mind, free your mind, free your mind. Third slot for the X Division title, longtime wrestler and Sanjay Dutt, who today says has never won the title. Really? That shocked me more than anything. He squares off against Rashad Cameron. Philadelphia guy, okay. Old school. Looked him up. Wikipedia says he's currently working in CZW. Oh my. As Black Jeez. BLKJEZ. Like Black Jesus, but without the ending to it? JB talking about how huge and super over Dutt is in India. I looked up. I believe this is around the same time period as when Jeff Jarrett tried to make his own wrestling show. No, not Global Force. Before that. This was in India. Rinka King. Something else I tried to find again and do a Suplexing4Rinoa about perhaps in the future? I remember me and Gif watching that and oh my god, John. But yeah, we would just mark out anytime because it's all in their native language, but there would be sometimes like a oh my god, John. Like there was like a high spot there. I like it. Like very. I was like, oh yeah, I like it too. Sorry to be just a very stereotypical American. Just I don't know. I've always popped for English. Although always my favorite Koroni Inugami moments is when she very very strong English. Love it. Always loved like all JoJo was like, oh my god, or hey baby. Lost my shit when I heard let's kill the whole bee. I can't even do it with a straight face. But yeah, we marked out for that. We got to see stars oh hey, it's Chris Masters. Oh hey, it's Scott Steiner. He's running through the crowd like a bull. I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I marked the hell out for that stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh, it's Chris Masters. Oh, it's Eugene. That's his real name. He's a doctor now. Cool. Oh, it's Luke Gallows playing a biker. Funny enough, a little bit before he played a biker in the, more on that later, too. Yeah. Every time I build myself up, I gotta bring it back down, because it's like, oh, no. Yeah, sadly, Viacom has, I believe, ownership to the footage, so I can link this, though. So, yeah, me reviewing Rinka King is a bust, but this link that I'm providing in the second link in the description goes to Marky D123, where he reviewed all 20-something episodes of Ring-Ka King, complete with interviews from those who wrestled there in Nick Aldis, still using the Sir Magnus gimmick, and Jimmy Rove. So definitely check that out if you're curious about Jeff Jarrett's first foray into before Global Force Wrestling, just to grab that Indian audience, because again they really excited for Jinder Mahal in WWE when he won that. They've been super over there, and then I think they put him against Triple H and even jobbed him there or something. He went overseas, you can't do the J.O.B. Anyway, back to the match. Yeah, I didn't have much for this one. I was just looking up did Sanjay Dutt win that title? Did this and that? I didn't want to spoil myself in case he did later. But yeah, I'm thinking, was this he's out here I remember this might get up kind of like Ring-Ka King. I'm like, oh shit, I remembered Ring-Ka King. Dutt wins with a god-tier moonsault front into a almost picture-perfect stomp. Like he was doing gymnastics going for 10s from the judges for this move. Looking at him do this might have ruined Finn Balor's double top rope stomp for me. I thought Low Keys looked cool. He was the first one I seen to do that. But yeah, Finn Balor, I've seen him nearly double over and bowl himself over 180 completely doing it sometimes. Because he doesn't get that's kind of a tough move to land on anyway. You gotta land not every stomach of the your opponent you're facing is super flat surface, so to speak. So yeah. I don't think I can put the blame on Balor. It just seems like a really hard move to pull off. But whatever it was for Dutt, he nailed it. I guess he's just that. Maybe it's just that little of a guy. He's that compact. And just, ooh, biggest of oofs shown here is they show footage of Against All Odds. It's the footage of Zema Ion crashing into Jesse Sorensen so hard he suffered a legitimate neck injury and couldn't continue the match. But Jesse Sorensen in neck brace comes out to the ring, gives us an update. Yeah, real serious stuff. He was worried about being paralyzed for the rest of his life. Thankfully not the case, as he would later get back to wrestling, as I looked on Wikipedia. But right here, right now, he hopes he's pulling for Zuma to win the title so he can take it off him next year. And then cash in that option C and become world champ. Sad to report that never was the case. Jesse was basically retired for a full calendar year working in the spinal conditioning and rehab, working backstage at TNA until he was let go. He would, thankfully, return to wrestling elsewhere, according to Wikipedia. But anyway, back to the segment. Sorensen goes to leave, and the next match is literally Zema Ion just walking by him after he delivers his message and winning over Flip Casanova. The latter of who I also have literally never seen until this match. Yeah, it's hard to get stuff talking about the match when you kind of know who's winning. It's like, oh, this guy who just had a promo, and then the other guy, never heard of him. I wonder who's winning. So the Fatal 4-Way Ultimate X match is now set. Christie backstage with 3 of the other 4, King, Dutt, and Andrews. Bobby Roode shows up and interrupts, saying, "The only match that matters is mine. I'm going to destroy your little poster boy, Austin Aries. The 3 of you, the X Division and Aries, all will fail tonight. Notion of violence." Why do I sound like Shonuff when I say that? The Shogun of Harlem. But yeah, it's time for Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. A lone sign in the crowd states, Joe versus Angle 8 in Roman numerals. This is their 8th match? I'm like, can you just give me the other 7 for free somewhere? Because they do just matches by themselves, not just the whole. But and again, all this was looking at me finding full pay-per-views like this and stuff like that and full shows. But yeah, there's just full matches too. Again, something I might look at in the future. But yeah, all this time they've only had 8 bouts. When TNA gets it right, they get it right. Which only just pisses me off more when they get it wrong. They get it so wrong. There really feels like there's no in-between. The crowd rightfully split with the doubling, "Let's go, Angle, let's go, Joe" chants at the beginning. They're not even doing anything yet, and they're already let's go. Let's go. JB, again, driving home. Joe wants to always go for that submission. And this is where I looked up the rules online. The ProWrestlingFandom.com states how many points are exactly earned. You get the most points for a submission victory. I'm like, okay, both these guys could do that. I'm like, both these guys could get 10 for submission. A pin is worth 7. 5 for a countout victory. Win via DQ and get 3 points. The person who gets DQ'd loses 10. 2 points if a draw happens, which I guess either in a time limit or double KO. Crazy top rope leg lariat from Joe. That can't be any good at all for that neck ankle. Almost a 3. So much for his vow. It's like, okay, maybe I can just settle for the 7. I know how good Angle is. It's the 8th time wrestling him. Shit. He wants the submission, but he'll take the 7 just to not. Whew. So they really brought that home, and I was like, So this might have been match of the night for me. Like up until that point, it was the Kenny Douglas Williams, but this match, yeah. Although it's Joe Angle, I think I need to tell you what the best match of the night might have been for some people. He tries another pin, and then when Angle kicks out, tries to armbar Angle, but Angle's savvy. Turns that and positions it into an ankle lock till Joe breaks loose. Slides straight out of a muscle buster attempt right into the ankle lock again that Joe rolls and pushes away. Uranagi counter to a charging Angle, again goes for muscle buster. Hits it. Very near fall. Angle with the right idea. He's behind on points. He needs that 10. He needs that submission. Rolls through with Angle and pulls back to get him into his coquina clutch. Angle fights out of that. Near fall on an Angle slam, back and forth until another clutch really cinches in. Angle only has like one free arm to try and fight out of it this time. And Angle just stops moving, like the ref looks over and calls it, declares Joe winner. I guess he technically gets 10. It is a submission win. They never specified the opponent had to tap or not. But yeah, ref did look at that, and I'm like, okay, he's out. He ain't moving at all, and Heb just, ring the bell, this one's over. But yeah, Kurt immediately like fired up and just like, what happened? And Joe leaves with his 10. So yeah, as always, a big-time rivalry that always delivers. Better have the next match also be a big-time rivalry that always delivers. Styles versus Daniels, last man standing. Both men start off wrestling. I figured heel ass Daniels would be the first to bring weapons in, and he do. A steel chair, to be exact. Still in the realm of weapons. A little low for last man standing, but, they paced it. You start off with what got you. Your wrestlers, your technicians, your performers. You're not the ECW guys. You don't immediately go for the shit and crank them. Just, okay. Start off with what brought you to the dance, not what you need to... Not the partner you need to go with now. Daniels catches AJ and rock bottoms him back first onto the chair, bending it. Daniels starts to jaw with the crowd and smashes AJ face first into the ring steps, drawing heat and drawing AJ's blood. Flattens up the chair so he can use it to swing at AJ. Sees it coming and springboards. Daniels gets the chair up, I guess trying to block that, like, that top rope, that slingshot springboard that AJ does now, where he goes, like, off the top rope in the forearm. But yeah, Daniels gets, like, the chair up. I thought he was going to hit him with it, but he just, like, I guess in a way it's like, I'm going to use this to block it. Wait, he's coming at me full force. This chair ain't going to block shit. It's going to hit me in the face, and that's what it does. I'm like, It just seemed like a critical moment. Protect myself, critical moment. Oh, no, what went wrong? Why did I... Oh, bad idea. Before he had a chance to think this through. Wait, fuck! But yeah, after that, he gets run face first in the ring steps. Boom! It makes something to that setup makes like a really loud sound, like a really loud snap sound to it or something like that. But yeah, he's opened up even more. Whew. They fight over to the entranceway, back and forth for a bit. AJ hits his backflip into back body drop that has Daniels down till 6. It's Kaz! Shoving AJ off the ramp for an 8 count. Crowd early on. I hate the crowd. Every time they see a match, they're immediately like, we want tables. I'm like, wait the fuck a minute. Goddamn. Let this shit happen naturally. But no, they're just like, we want tables. I'm like, oh, fuck that chant. Fuck that chant. Clap, 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 clap. Yeah, that's what I say. But yeah, near the end, Daniels gets a table and tries to angel wings AJ onto it. But AJ shoves him away. It knocks Kaz back all the way out, and I guess he's done. Because it's Styles Clash off the ramp into the table. Styles manages to get up from that before 10 and wins the match. Shorter than I thought it was going to be, but still, it's Styles Daniels. And no clear lynch or any of that shenanigans during this match, so yeah, a win. Christy Hemme backstage with the former X Division champ. He chose, this is I believe the first time they mentioned the that new Option C thing, where if you're X Division championship, you can relinquish it, cash it in for a shot at the World Championship. And Austin Aries was the first to do that, the man who invented Option C. Austin Aries saying Rude wins championships with beer bottles and belt shots. I've been winning with brainbusters, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But it's time to determine who the new X Division champion is going to be. But they built up whoever wins this is going to be someone who has never worn it before. But it's time for the Ultimate X match. All this TNA stuff, I've only ever covered one till the near end, wow. But Ultimate X, it's this, the title suspended by cables on these metal partitions or whatever. And the title's in the middle of it, of the X, I think it's ring ropes or whatever, but it's they're crossed in a X. So they gotta kind of clamber and climb on these cables to get to it and get the title and pull it down and win. So like a ladder match, but with a little extra to make it different. I think into a ladder match just with no ladder. I wouldn't think too much hairspray from Zuma Ion would work against him, but maybe it's the sticky stuff, so maybe it's the exact opposite. I mean, the fella jumps from the second rope to get halfway there to the title before getting yanked off by King and Mason. Poor Sanjay Dutt hits a top rope move to stop Kenny King, and then on this running forward flip, I had to slow the video down to see exactly what took him out of this match. Sanjay on that running flip, it's like a 180, and he lands elbow first, rams it into the near side edge of the ring, straight down. So he's rolling out, slow looking at the ref on the outside, So yeah, he's getting help to the back, getting medical attention on that. I was like, oh man, damn shame. So now it's Zuma Ion, Kenny King, and Mason Andrews. Just a lot of the same spot, kind of. One person tries to climb up the ropes, and then someone else leaps off the top rope to knock him down. You took away the ladder, but now you just have that same spot kind of over and over again until one person actually gets the title. The more I thought about it, the more I was can I just see Sanjay Dutt finally winning this thing? He does come back, though, miraculously, though. I guess it wasn't as serious, but he comes back and finishes the damn thing. So, Sanjay motherfucking Dutt, man. He starts climbing the metal. He gets back, he starts climbing the metal beams the X rope and title are attached to. Zima has the same idea. He's like, okay. They're so high up on these steel beams, they're on top of the structure. I don't know if they were going to do a high spot from there or drop down on the title. They did the ladder, drop down on the title. I'm like, oh god, this could be dangerous. You doing something there. Zima gets out I guess in his tights pockets or whatever, he gets out a can of hairspray, blinding Dutt, giving him the chance to become the new X Division champion. Christy Hemme runs up, giving him the chance to give his thoughts and reactions on becoming the new champ. Zima says, I'm going to thank my haters and critics for their undying support. Dedicates this match to my greatest inspiration, Jesse Sorensen. Says, quote, without breaking your neck, I never would have realized my true potential. I would have never realized just how dangerous I really am. Main event time. Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Both men get touted as the longest reigning champs in their divisions. And they're finally taking it on one-on-one. Knowing what Aries is does kind of take me out of it. Outside of wrestling, of course. Anti-vax dickhead personally, but no doubt the man is talented, and that with Roode is for sure on display here. As soon as I saw this at the beginning of the pay-per-view, I was hype. Aries playing the very quick man game for a while trying to wear Roode down. Roode smartly scouts a Through the ropes diving headbutt. He hits nothing but guardrail. I think it might nearly opened him up if it was that kind of. But now Rude can slow it down a bit. Starts mat gaming it. Starts healing out. Pie facing him. Yeah, shoving him around. Paint brushing him. Like open times like paintbrush. Just enforcing healed him so Aries can hero back. It's basic, but really something to check out like Douglas Williams and Kenny King. Rude can't tap Aries out, so he goes to hit him with the title belt. Ref sees this and stops it. And while the ref is busy putting the title away, it's a call pay-per-view, but I finally get a has you nuts moment. Almost a 3. I'm like, oh my god, if he won on that, comedy tag team winning with the low blow is one thing. You win a main event on that? I mean, although, having said that, I think I remember Randy retaining the title by DQ on a how's your nuts moment, a very blatant how's your nuts moment. I'm looking at that like, no one's ever thought of that before. He's raising his leg to kick me. I'll just, ding. So yeah, not getting the 3. Rude gets into it with the ref. Running drop kick to Rude, who gets out of whatever Aries had planned next. Ref bump. So Rude actually can grab the title and hit him with it. 1, 2, kick out. Rude's beside himself. He can't believe it. I've won all my matches with this practically. Rude reverse rolls up on a suplex attempt 2 count. Dodges a spear from Rude. Brainbuster. New TNA World Heavyweight Champion Austin Aries. Man, they went out of their way to make it seem like Aries TNA's version of their wrestling Mount Rushmore. But ego's a bitch. That quick get up to his feet later on after eating Johnny Impact's Starship pin, that's always going to stick with me. So yeah, even if he wasn't anti-vax doofus outside of wrestling, that finish is always stuck in my craw as like, oh, this guy's fucking finished in this business. He's done. Like, never hired this man for anything. Was not too impressed with the not as known wrestlers here at the Ultimate X Tournament because I just literally never heard of them before and probably never will again after this, who knows. Really liked a lot of the other matches. No one match here in the period where I look and go, that match fucking sucked, or felt like, oh, that's a screwy finish. Pfft. Good pay-per-view, not something I would say like, oh, go watch this right now, but a good pay-per-view overall. But again, I kind of wanted to know if Dutt ever got to be X Division champion, but I don't want to spoil anything here. I actually thought in the beginning, like I said, if this sucked, I was going to skip the other 2012 and end Saturday with Ultimate Deletion. Then I later found out I already covered Ultimate Deletion. But this pay-per-view was good enough for me to say, let's end this tomorrow with Bound for Glory 2012. So join me for that tomorrow. Until next time, take care, and thanks for watching.